Hi, I'm Wendy, and I'm the set designer for the theatre show Emil and the Detectives. We're just going to have a little talk about the elements that are used when designing a set. The element of scale in theatre design is such a great tool. One of the things that we have to face as a designer is suddenly we're meant to have the whole city on the stage, and how do we do that? And scale can help us. In this show we use a very small version of a city, but then we can cast shadows and make those shadows enormous. So from a very small thing we end up with a large thing. What's really great is that we can go back to the creative development and see an idea. And then we can see the real thing here. And what's really exciting is that some of the images of the city in the show are the ones that the children have made in the foyer before they come in, and then they get to see their work on stage. In this piece we can see that the lighting and the set design had to work together, because here we have a lighting source that creates a shadow. We see the people getting on the tram, and then we see Emil interacting with the shadows. So the relationship between light and set was really critical for this work.
Then you'll need to pay a ticket.
I don't have any money.
Another element that was involved in Emil and the Detectives was AV. We knew that we were going to have that in the train carriage, so as I designed the build of that, I had to make sure I had allowances for the TV. And the beauty was that we made the TV appear to be the window of the train, so that was a really critical relationship. Sometimes in the show we use the one set piece to be two different things. When we look at this set piece, we can see that we've got a cafe, we've got our blackboard telling us what's available to eat. But what's really great about this is that we've been able to design two scenes with the one piece of scenic element. We go from being in the cafe, we change the text, and with a quick flip, we're off on the road. So what's really great is that we've not lost our audience. Nobody's got distracted by changing the scene. The actor's been able to change the sign and lift up the table, and we're in another place. In Emil and the Detectives, we have lots of props that are hidden in the set. So as I was designing the set, we had to make sure that we allowed that during the build, the functionality of those things. Also, part of the reason that they're not seen is that there's an element of surprise throughout the show. So one of the things behind the idea of the hotel was to find an interesting way of bringing it to life. Rather than bringing another whole set piece, the idea that it's in the suitcase is kind of ironic, because you take the suitcase to the hotel and here we have the hotel coming out of the suitcase. The reality of designing a set is that there are some constraints that determine how you have to do things. Things like budget, can it go on tour, how big a space have you got to work with. But with all of those things, the most important thing is that your set is helping and assisting and supporting telling the story.